Hi, St. Agatha students. I'm going to read to you today Kate DiCamillo's Mercy Watson Fights Crime. It's one of our favorite books, one of our favorite authors in library. And if you'd like, you might want to pause the video right now and go get some hot buttery toast and come back to watch me read this book because, of course, that's what we know that Mercy loves so much. And all of these books end with hot buttery toast, and it always makes me want to eat some. So if you want to pause it now, you can, and then come back. All right, here we go. Mercy Watson Fights Crime. Chapter 1. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson have a pig named Mercy. Each night they sing the pig to sleep. Then they go to bed. "Good night, my dear," says Mr. Watson. "Good night, my darling," says Mrs. Watson. Says Mercy. Most nights, Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson and Mercy all sleep soundly in their beds, but there was one night when they did not. Chapter 2. Leroy Ninker was a small man. He was a small man with a big dream. Leroy Ninker wanted to be a cowboy, but in the meantime he was a thief. He was a thief in the kitchen at 54 Deckawoo Drive. Leroy Ninker was robbing the Watsons. "Yippee-yi-yo!" sang Leroy. "Everything must go." He grabbed hold of the toaster. He pulled it across the counter toward him. "Screech!" went the toaster. "Shh!" said Leroy. He tossed the toaster into his bag. "Clang!" went the toaster. "Shh!" said Leroy again. Chapter 3. Screech! Mercy woke up. Screech was the sound the toaster made when it was being pulled across the kitchen counter. Mercy Watson loved toast. She particularly loved toast with a great deal of butter on it. Mercy got out of bed. She pricked up her ears. She listened. Mercy heard Mr. Watson snoring. She heard Mrs. Watson snoring. Who was downstairs making toast? Mercy went to the top of the stairs. She looked down into the darkness. Clang went the toaster. Clang was the sound the toaster made when Mrs. Watson turned it upside down to clean out all the crumbs. Somebody was making toast. Mercy went down the dark, dark stairs. She headed for the kitchen. Chapter 4. Leroy Ninker grabbed the blender. He grabbed the clock. He grabbed the cookie jar. "Yippee-yi-yo!" he sang as he worked. "In you go!" He grabbed the juicer. He grabbed the teapot. He grabbed the waffle iron. And then Leroy Ninker heard a noise. He turned around. "Yippee-yi!" sang Leroy. Uh-oh. Chapter 5. Mercy looked around. She did not see the toaster. She did not see the bread. She did not see the butter. Instead, Mercy saw a little man wearing a big hat. He was not making toast. Mercy was very disappointed. She was also very tired. She yawned. "Good pig," said the man. He nodded. Mercy lay down. She yawned again. "Nice pig," said the little man. Mercy closed her eyes. "Yippee-yi-yo!" the man sang softly. "Off to sleep you go." Chapter 6. "That there," whispered Leroy, "is a big pig." He reached into his shirt pocket. He pulled out a butter barrel candy. He unwrapped the candy and put it in his mouth. Leroy thought, it might be a good idea for this cowboy to hit the trail. He picked up his bag. He stopped. "Oh, shucks," said Leroy.
Mommy, who took the Monopoly down?
He picked up his bag. He stopped. "Oh, shucks," said Leroy. "The pig was blocking his way. There's no room to go around the pig," said Leroy. "There's no room to go under the pig. Guess I got to go over the pig. Leroy stepped forward. He flung one leg over the sleeping pig. The pig moved. Leroy Ninker froze. Oops. Chapter 7. Mercy woke up. She said. Easy now, said a voice. Mercy looked out of the corner of her eye. The little man was on her back. Mercy stood up. Steady, girl, said the little man. Mercy shook herself. The little man slid forward. Whoa there, he said. Mercy smelled something. What was it? Butter! Mercy looked around the kitchen. No bread, no toaster, but she definitely smelled butter. Maybe someone next door was making sugar cookies. Said Mercy. She galloped out the open door. She galloped toward the Lincoln sisters' house. Yippee-yi-yo! Shouted Leroy. Away we go! There you can see Mercy galloping with a big smile on her face. Chapter 8. Upstairs at 54 Deckawoo Drive, Mrs. Watson woke up. Mr. Watson, she said. Mm-hmm, said Mr. Watson. Did you hear a noise? Said Mrs. Watson. What sort of noise, dear? A yippee-yi-yo sort of noise, said Mrs. Watson. No, I did not hear a yippee-yi-yo sort of noise, said Mr. Watson. You were dreaming, my dear. I was, said Mrs. Watson. You were, said Mr. Watson. Go back to sleep. Mrs. Watson got out of bed. I think that I will go and check on Mercy, she said, and then I will go back to sleep. Excellent, mumbled Mr. Watson. Top-notch plan, my dear. Mr. Watson started to snore. Chapter 9. Inside the Lincoln sisters' house, baby Lincoln woke up. She went into her sister Eugenia's room. Sister, wake up, baby said. There is somebody outside shouting, yippee-yi-yo. Did you have pie before bed again? Asked Eugenia. I did not, said baby. I think you did, said Eugenia. I did not, said baby. Go back to your room immediately, said Eugenia. Yes, sister, said baby. Baby went back to her room. She got into her bed. She heard another yippee-yi-yo. Oh, dear, said baby. I wish I had not eaten that pie. Chapter 10. Yippee-yi-yo! Baby, shouted Eugenia, come back here immediately. Baby got out of bed. She went into Eugenia's room. Yes, sister, said baby. Did you hear that noise? Said Eugenia. Was it a yippee-yi-yo, sister? It was, said Eugenia. You are dreaming, said baby. Nonsense, said Eugenia. Open the curtain. Baby opened the curtain. Together, the Lincoln sisters watched Mercy gallop across the lawn. They watched the little man on her back take his cowboy hat off and wave it over his head. Yippee-yi-yo, the little man shouted. That pig is disturbing the peace, said Eugenia, and so is the cowboy riding her. I am calling the police. Oh, sister, said baby, are you sure it's not a dream? It's a nightmare, said Eugenia. That is what it is. So that's where we're going to stop for today. And next week, I will start with chapter 11. So I hope you've enjoyed listening to Mercy Watson. I hope you have the chance to get some buttery toast. And we'll continue here next week. Have a good week.